the blackest eyes, the deathless eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
First things first, let's talk about the Halloween timeline. Starting with 1978, the Carpenter film, the whole timeline goes all the way 6 movies to Halloween Resurrection. Now, with David Gordon Green coming in and doing the 2018 film with James Jude Courtney in the Shape role, he wanted to continue from where the first one left off, creating his own new timeline, wiping all the other movies out of the way and starting fresh, becoming the new sequel to the original film in the process. Michael Myers has been institutionalized for 40 years for his involvement in the babysitter murders in Haddonfield, Illinois on Halloween night in 1978. 2 true crime podcasters, Aaron and Dana, visit the facility to interview Michael's psychiatrist. They attempt to talk to Michael himself too, but the stoic killer does not even acknowledge their presence, even when they show him his infamous mask. The next night, while staff transfers Michael to a different facility, Michael crashes the hospital's bus and makes his escape. After killing a father and son, Michael takes their car and heads to Haddonfield. In Haddonfield, Aaron and Dana go to interview Laurie Strode, the surviving victim of Michael's rampage 40 years ago. Laurie has become a paranoid recluse who has built her home in the woods into a well-armed fortress. She reluctantly agrees to talk to the podcasters after they offer to pay her, but she cuts the interview short when they start asking probing questions about her family, including her estrangement from her own daughter, who she lost custody of when she was a child. Laurie's daughter, Karen, still does not get along with her mother, even though she is now married and with her own teenage daughter, Allison. Allison wishes to have a relationship with Laurie and is frustrated that Laurie doesn't try harder to move past her fear of Michael Myers and the pain to get on with her life. On the day of Halloween, Aaron and Dana visit the gravesite of Michael's sister, Judith, who Michael killed when he was a young boy. Michael watches the podcasters from a distance and follows them to a nearby gas station. Once there, he kills Aaron and Dana and the gas station attendants before removing his mask from the trunk of Aaron's car. Deputy Frank Hawkins, the man who arrested Michael in 1978 before Dr. Loomis could attempt to kill him, is the first one to arrive on the scene of the grisly murders. He tries to convince Sheriff Barker that it would be best to kill Michael and not try to capture him. Laurie learns about Michael's escape from the news and attempts to warn Karen and her husband Ray. However, the couple only see her claims as paranoid ramblings of a lunatic and dismiss her concerns. Later that night, Michael goes house to house through Haddonfield and begins killing on his usual spree. After many altercations, they end up fighting off Michael and kicking him down into the basement. Allison goes for the knife and cuts Michael to try and get him off her mother's leg. They kick him down into the basement as Karen grabs the lever for the safe room and locks him inside in the process. Laurie turns on the gas and throws a flare into the basement, setting the whole room ablaze. With a one last look into the basement, she sees Michael simply staring at her while being silhouetted by the flames. The women run out of the house, now engulfed in flames completely. They flag down a passing truck and ask them for help. We see one last shot of the burning basement with Michael now nowhere in sight. Michael is now presumed dead in the basement as they escape, ending the 2018 movie. Okay, now that you guys are fully 100% caught up with the timeline adjustment from director David Gordon Green and Danny McBride, if you haven't seen the 2018 movie now, you are now caught up on that too. So now when you go in to see Halloween Kills, you know everything that happens up until that point. So now all we have to do is get up to that review and just trying to kill a little bit of time because in editing I had some problems. But oh, look at the house burn. There you go. That'll keep you occupied until we get to the review. There you go. Look at the TV tables. I'm not doing this on purpose at all. There you go. Oh, look at the mini house burning inside the big house. There you go. They escaped. Oh, here's the review now. Alright, guys. Here's what you've all been waiting for. My opinion and review of Halloween Kills. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to break it down into 4 different sections. We're going to do characters, story, got to talk about the kills, and then I'm going to have my overall opinion and verdict on the movie entirely. Alright, first things first, the characters. There's a lot of nostalgia that comes with Halloween Kills, and that is one of the best parts, is bringing back original actors from the John Carpenter movie. That's Kyle Richards, who played Lindsay Wallace. That's Nancy Stevens, who played the nurse Marion. That's Charles Cyphers, who plays Lee Brackett. And also filling in for the role of Tommy Doyle is Anthony Michael Hall. Now, with bringing back all these characters from the original movie, story-wise, they really opened the movie well and drove the actual overall plot of the story forward and really made the movie tie into the original, which I thought was really cool. Now, along with the original returning characters, story-wise, in Halloween Kills, we do have returning characters from the 2018 movie, which is Nick Castle and James Jude Courtney, who are taking on the role of the Shape again, which is Michael Myers. We have Andy Machichak playing Allison. We have Will Patton coming back as Officer Hawkins. We also have Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, who's playing Laurie Strode, Judy Greer, who is playing Karen, and Dylan Arnold, who is playing Allison's boyfriend. But in all honesty, the one that really stands out in this movie, acting-wise, and she's front and center, in my opinion, is Judy Greer. She really has her time to shine as Karen, Laurie Strode's daughter, and she just stands out, in my opinion, among all the characters. Now, after talking about the characters, now we're going to go into the story. The story picks up right where the 2018 Halloween left off. The Strode family flagged down the truck and on their way to their hospital to get Laurie medical attention when simultaneously Tommy Doyle, Marion, and Lindsay Wallace are in a bar watching everything unravel on the news, and they finally had enough and of being scared, and they want to defend Haddonfield and take matters into their own hands and take Michael Myers out once and for all because the authorities keep failing consistently. And this is when Tommy Doyle steps up and starts basically recruiting people from the town and creating a mob to try and go after Michael, searching for him throughout the movie. They end up tracking him down by following his path of blood and destruction, killing Marion and nearly killing Lindsay Wallace in the process. Laurie Strode has been sidelined for pretty much the entire movie, recovering from her injuries from the 2018 film. Meanwhile, Tommy Doyle is leading the Haddonfield mob, trying to chase down Michael, when they wrongly identify an escaped Smith's Grove patient as an unmasked Michael. They chase him into the hospital, and he ends up jumping out of a window, committing suicide. And Judy Greer, who is playing Karen, has had enough that they killed an innocent person chasing after him in all their anger and everything like that, that she finally joins the mob and wants to kill Michael herself. They track Michael down to his childhood home, and they end up ambushing him in the middle of the street, and they surround him with all the cars. They proceed to beat the living crap out of Michael to an inch of death This is when Judy Greer comes and grabs the butcher knife from Michael and stabs him in the back of the neck. Thinking that they finally got the job done, everyone lets their guard down, and Michael gets up and starts to massacre everyone in the surrounding area, including Tommy Doyle himself. Judy Greer makes her way back into the Myers house and looks out the second-story window, waiting for the cops to come. Michael pops up behind her and ends up killing Karen and escaping and finally ending the movie. This brings us to the kills. Now, always when you come back with a sequel, you have to one-up its predecessor. You have to be more bloody, you have to be smarter about the kills, you have to think outside the box and do things different. You have to make it better than the first. In my opinion, this one did just that. They came up with smarter kills, they came up with more visceral, more bloody, gorier. They pulled out all the stops in this movie. But I have to say, hands down, to me, when he kills the caretaker with the fluorescent light bulb tube, I thought that was awesome. That being said, this brings us to our final category, my overall opinion and verdict on the movie entirely. I do think that this movie is really slow at times. I did not care for Laurie being sidelined for most of the movie. I thought she should have been involved with more of the story. I think that they planned out the 3 movies ahead of time, and they wanted to have Laurie and Michael have this big last showdown in the 3rd movie, and they're like, how do we get there? We need to have, let's have the town come together and go after Michael, and that'll lead us into the 3rd movie, and then we can have the fight between the two of them. That being said, though, I didn't hate the movie. I did enjoy the hell out of every scene that Michael was in and every scene that Judy Greer was in. I think they both did really good. Michael was really freaking intimidating every time he was on the screen. Like I said before, he was more visceral. He was more angry. He was out to get shit done. But overall, I don't think this is as good as the 2018 movie. I prefer the 2018 movie hands down. With that said, I think this is worth the watch, but I don't think that this is going to be a horror movie that I watch like occasionally, or that I have to watch like every now and then. I hope you guys like my review. I hope you guys at least give it like a watch. If you guys liked the movie, if you didn't like the movie, comment down below. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you like my content, if you want me to do more stuff like this. I do love going to the movies, and I hope you guys like what I've done this time. I've improved, I've learned with my reviews, and until next time and until next review, have a good one, guys.